movies. Music and monsters.
Danger, danger.
Hey, my friends, Dan Monroe here from Movies, Music, and Monsters with another fun-filled Sunday afternoon Q&A video. You know, I really gotta tell you guys, I love doing these videos almost as much as I do the regular videos, which take about 10 times as long to do, but I really do appreciate the interest that you guys are showing. Maybe this slightly more personal connection, which is always great to have with amazing people like all of you. So, without further ado, Robbie, if you please.
Wait, Robbie?
I thought it would be nice once in a while to get him involved. What do you say, Robbie? You want to chime in on any of this stuff?
Pardon me, sir. Stuff? Oh, brother. Steve Cutler asks, Dan, you've played several styles of music in your life. Who are some of your musical heroes? Blah.
Jealous. Thank you, Robbie, and thanks for the question, Steve. You know, it's funny if you think about it, but a lot of times we end up being fans of whatever our older brothers and sisters were fans of. In my case, absolutely the Beatles, of course, which played pretty much nonstop from my brother Paul's room back when I was a kid. Then, across the hall, coming from my sister's room, was John Denver, and I suppose I would have to say that those two are not only my favorite band and artist, but also the two that had the biggest impact on my life and what used to be my musical career back in the day. When I first started out writing songs back in the 80s and 90s, everybody used to tell me, "Wow, you sound just like John Denver."
You're a miracle to me that I never thought would be, and I see it when those tears fall from my eyes, and it comes as no surprise when I'm looking in your eyes. It's plain to see, and I believe that you're a miracle to me.
Well, far out later on in life, I went on to do a very successful John Denver tribute musical show, which I absolutely loved performing. In fact, I miss it a lot, but as John Lennon so eloquently stated in his song, "Beautiful Boy," life is what happens when you're busy making other plans, and this channel, my friends, is my other plan. So, thank you for the question, Steve. Okay, robot, your turn.
Really? Are you sure you don't want Robbie to do it? Well, it certainly would be an improvement.
Ladies, you're both pretty. Can we just get on with this, please?
Dwayne and Diana from Pittsburgh ask, dogs or cats?
Aw, come on, that's not even fair. I love all animals. In fact, if I were being brutally honest, I would probably have to say that I enjoy the company of animals more than I enjoy the company of people these days. But to answer the question, when I was a kid, I had both a dog and a cat. But as an adult, I always preferred having, drum roll please, cats. Nothing against dogs. Dogs are super cool, but dogs never really blended well with my personality, I guess. My pets are my kids, and whenever I lose one of my pets, it is really a very severe emotional blow for me personally. My current little buddy is a happy little cat named Tigger, who I absolutely love to death. All he wants to do is be with me all the time, and the way Tigger came into my life is unbelievable. My wife and I were out to dinner one night, and that was about 11 years ago. Back then, I was smoking cigarettes. Menthol, if you're wondering.
Ew.
Yeah, I know, but I'm 6'9", and I was hoping it might stunt my growth.
very clever in an unhealthy kind of way.
Don't worry about it. I'm off all the nicotine now. Anyway, I was standing outside puffing away, and this little kitten, literally no bigger than this, ran out from underneath a car over piles of snow, crawled up my leg, sat on my shoulder. I picked him up, looked at him, and said, "Tigger." So I put him in the car, went back in the restaurant, and told my wife, "Honey, we've got a kid."
Well, that's one way to save money on college tuition.
No kidding. Okay, robot, if you please.
At SPMK0928 asks, Dan, do some types of movies or TV shows garner more views than others, and how does that factor into what you select to talk about?
Wow, great question. Yes, obviously there are some topics that bring in a lot more views to the channel than other topics. Lost in Space always goes over well. I think my biggest performing video to date was the video I did about what happened to Gort from the day the Earth stood still, and then others don't really do much at all. Yes, I'm aware that one topic might bring in more views, ergo more revenue to the channel, but I still don't justify that in my overall decision to do any particular topic. Case in point, a few months ago I did an episode all about whatever happened to the movie Darkman, which was suggested to me by a super cool guy through email who really wanted me to do that film and hear my take on it. I knew darn well that it wasn't going to draw the same kind of attention that a Planet of the Apes video would or Star Trek would, but I just didn't care. To me, the most important part of all of this, which I consider my job, which is essentially working for you guys, if those are the topics that somebody out there wants to hear, then that's what I'm going to do, and I will put in the exact same amount of time and effort into that topic as I would a topic that I knew was going to be an enormous draw for the channel. There's nothing too big or too small that I won't do if I know that even one of you guys out there wants me to cover it. Okay, robot, what else you got?
Stephen J. asks, what are your thoughts on the current political situation here in the U.S. and around the world? Did you hear the question?
I heard the question.
And your answer is?
My answer is that on this channel I will never, ever discuss or bring up politics, religion, social issues, or negativity in the world. There's already too much freaking negativity, not only on the internet, but sadly right here on YouTube. I genuinely try my absolute best to keep things not only uplifting, but positive on this channel, even with the movies and shows that I personally thought weren't really very good. I will not put them down because I know somewhere out there somebody liked it, and that kind of negativity simply has no place either in me or on this channel. So let's just keep the topics of discussing the fun things, the positive things, and in my opinion, the only things in life that really matter.
Well said.
Thank you. Okay, robot, we got time for one more.
John 2147 asks, how did you meet your beautiful wife?
Oh boy, here we go. I honestly have to tell you guys that since this channel has gotten as popular as it has, again, thanks to all of you, that literally my biggest fan of all is my wife, Debbie. I've never experienced such an incredible outpouring of support and devotion from anyone like I have with her. When I was a kid, I didn't necessarily grow up in one of those households that was particularly warm or overly loving with support, and to have a wife that is proud of you for what it is you do, it's unbelievable. I gotta tell you, a real miracle, in fact, to me. But to answer the question, we gotta go back, way back to 2005, I think. I was working as a recording engineer at a recording studio here in Western New York with one of the members of the Goo Goo Dolls, super popular band in this area and around the world, right here from my own hometown. Anyway, Deb would bring a lot of her vocal students into the studio to do some recordings. She was, and still is, a very successful professional voice coach, so I got to see a little bit of her during that time. But about a year later, in 2006, I began doing a Johnny Cash tribute show, and I needed a June Carter. And somebody said, hey, check out this cute little Italian voice teacher from a town just up the road. And it was, of course, her. So after a lengthy audition process...
Audition process.
Quiet. She and I began performing together, with me as Johnny Cash and Debbie as June Carter. And it was at that point I knew, without a doubt, no question, this was the one for me. There was only one small problem. She was married.
So what did you do?
I killed her husband and buried him in the backyard.
Really?
Actually, I waited about 8 years, to be honest, and I'm really glad that I did. We've performed hundreds of times together over the years. We've traveled all over the world together. We got engaged and married in 2015, and this year will be our 10-year wedding anniversary.
I think I'm going to cry.
Well, that was a whole lot of fun, and I certainly hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. And if you did, and you like this kind of stuff, please consider subscribing to the channel. I've got a whole bunch of new videos coming up really soon that I know you guys are just gonna dig. And please feel free to stop back anytime as we together continue the conversation on movies, music, and monsters.
Movies, music, and monsters.